This is Dan Max, the trading agent. This is a stock trading and recap channel that I wanted to share to the masses. In a probability game, there's no certainty. Here are my insights and predictions.
Hello, everybody. It is Dan Max at EXP, aka the Trading Agent. It is November 4th. This is my post market recap. Let's get it started. The dollar, UUP, said, we're kind of chopping. These candles have me a little suspect that it might drop, but nice little look above and fail over the high from this candle. I look at this big green candle as an anomaly. I don't really like to see big candles on light volume. You'll learn in time that they seem to be, those are manipulated candles. You don't get big price range on low volume unless there was some news or something manipulative about the price action. They're usually red flags. You see big green candles. I mean, here's an example. A gap up, green candle, light volume. It was gonna flip and it changed direction. That's a red flag. Maybe that's another topic. Let me add that. Volume and candle. Putting that note down. I've been inundated with ideas for back to basics. A lot of friends and folks who I trade with or know what I do have been like giving me topics, and this in alone might be a 100-part series. It's that demanding and there's that much to learn, so that's worth watching. I don't trust the dollar action here. I could see a blow off quickly. It'd be a slightly higher high, and then who knows what. Honestly, everything that's going on with the dollar at this point, it's really tough. Trading forex is not my specialty. Up all night kind of shit. I kind of revert back to who I trust, and that's kind of me. And looking at my charts and a few people I follow on Twitter. I mean, that's a whole nother video. Who I follow on Twitter. Yeah, that's what I'm not really too concerned about it. The dollar making big moves, like coming off of a bottom, is important. But at this point, it's just chopping until you break over the mid 25s or break under channel low and the 50-day here. It's a nothing burger. TLT. Everybody thinks the feds are going to stop buying bonds and the rates are going to go lower. And what did I say yesterday at the close? It's probably just a gap fill, just 145 area. Look what happened today. Got an open higher and closed near the highs. We're in a just tight consolidation range. I think this is very possible right here. Higher up, 149 area. And if it doesn't happen, well, as long as there's not any big moves, the market's not really too worried about it. I will say keep an eye on the TLT because tech likes lower rates. That's just a fact. And if you look, we roll right into the Qs, you can see it confirmed it today. I mean, low rates, easy to borrow, easy for companies to leverage, easy for tech companies to go bonkers and spend money and not have to show any earnings. That's kind of the way it's been for a while. So another gap up day, closing high. This whole run to me is going to probably get tired up around here. Could it look like something like this where you start getting a little more volatility potentially, or it could be coming off a nice move. It really just depends on time frames, but if the bigger the move, the bigger the drop. I mean, it could be something like this and then you can come back at this time of the year. Let's see what last year looked like. You had a November pullback, but it started in October. Maybe it's the opposite this year. This kind of action, because one of the things we're going to talk about here shortly is the VIX. It is cheap. Puts are cheap. Protection is cheap. Keep that in mind. Let's roll into the SPY real quick, and then we'll go on to the VIX. SPY higher highs. Everyone said 2 times range, or these little red candles was the start of the bear trend. It's like the volume wasn't that great. We're still running higher. However, we are kind of getting into this mode where we're definitely overbought. We're due for some pullback, and the VIX looks like it's going to confirm it soon. We retested the 15 range. We talked about this backing off and maybe double bottoming, reminding us of previous formations. This 15 area is going to likely hold. Does it have to hold exactly 15? Please don't hold me to exact numbers like that. 14s, 15s, whatever. It's all the same. Who gives a shit? The area is what you're looking at. We're back there today. The candle was green, even though the markets were up. That tells me people were buying protection on the market as it was rising, hence the rise in the VIX index. It's really simple. People, bid up the VIX as a hedge. Well, if the markets run up 15 days out of 17 or whatever crazy run we've been on, was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 15 out of 17 days, yeah, you might start buying some protection. GLD, we talked about this yesterday being a bear trap. We're back over the trend. We're at the 200-day. Something is going on in the gold market. Someone knows something. Volume isn't really telling me too much, but there's some things going on in this market that I am anticipating to see shortly. I don't know if we're going to get a monster pullback, but I do suspect we're going to get something. We get you get the earnings run up, you get some tiredness. The tiredness should be coming. So we'll see how gold reacts. I mean, at this point, every commodity's up except gold and silver, which I'll get into that here after I talk about silver for a second. Silver, we talked about the 50-day. I had it in yellow. Little bear trap. It went even farther below. We're back over the 20-day. It looks okay. One of the things that's interesting to me, and I mean, I'll talk about this and try to keep it short, is that when everybody hates something, you have to have like this little sixth sense going, if everybody hates it, who's left to hate it? Who's left to sell? When everybody loves a stock, who's left to buy? That's supply and demand. That's how this works. Think about it, Everybody's pushing a stock. The news is talking about it. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It's a real reality. Well, it can reverse. Sell the rumor, buy the news. Downtrend has broken. New channel formation, break below it. The green candle yesterday had the most volume of all these red candles. It's holding up pretty well. These gold and silver have been lagging tremendously. Do they lag all the way into the end of the year, end of year selling, tax selling? Maybe. But if they don't, I think they could start running. Keep an eye on it. Our friend GDX talked about this 31 level. It held. Nice green candle. Volume's not amazing. It's not saying, hey, let's go ripping higher. And notice today's action. We popped up and we closed kind of right where we opened. I mean, what did we finish down today? A whopping 11 cents. No volume really, but the price action said someone's buying here. Someone had the ability, with, as I call, stopping power. That's another video. Stopping power. How to identify that? Stopping power to stop the trend. I mean, if you look at the 10-minute chart, talked about this yesterday. You had, a little bit down action, you popped, and then you had all this buying. This is, if now you zoom out, you start saying, well, this might be the bottom. This is nice volume. This is the 30 candle period moving average of volume. I mean, you had tons of volume here. Is this potentially an area where market makers were buying, knowing that people who've been selling are scared and emotional based on the Fed are selling? I mean, people keep doing until it doesn't work. Well, market makers know more than you and I, and so if they know that there's an exhaustion and selling coming, they can kind of take it to their advantage. GDXJ, same kind of thing, not crazy great volume. We held, backing off 20-day, doesn't look dangerous. Let's run through the host of characters that we talk about. Roblox said 20-day. If you were listening, that's not a bad area to buy. Now we're back at the trend line. Is it gonna break out? Who knows? Every day is different. The volume isn't confirming anything great. I would like to see, I'd like to see double the day's volume. I'd like to see, 20 million shares breakout? That would be great. That would really confirm some demand. Because if you're buying off of the lows and there's high demand and they start really going after a stock strong off the lows, that just means that people don't think the prices are going lower anytime soon. So they still think it's a discount. That's what volume and price action means. If you get huge volume close to the lows after a low, people don't think it's going lower, so they're going after it hard as fuck. US Steel, W pattern, just chopping, like it. If you got down the 20s or you got at the 200-day, you're loving life. Kudos to everybody. Oh, why is my mouse acting like a piece of shit? Let's go to Apple. Talked about wait for the trend line to break. If there's no trend line break, you don't play. A lot of people struggle with that kind of mindset. Well, if you bought today and you're like, oh, I'm going to get it, so excited, I got to get in it, and then backed off. Just wait, just wait, just wait. Please, there's a lot to going on here. Hold on, pause. And we're back. Mouse was acting funny. I needed to pick it up. It was driving me crazy. What we were saying, Apple. Oh, the 1 minute chart. Who trades that? Come on. Why would you do that to me? No, the daily. We talked about it. If you got up to here, wait for it to break out. It didn't break out. Look at the volume today. It wasn't spectacular. It didn't tell you anything worth noting, period. So if you have Apple, it's not bearish, it's not bullish. Wait for the breakout. MSTR, we talked about this as breaking out. Okay, another higher low. I mean, the colors don't necessarily matter. If you like to look at higher highs and higher lows, well, you're making higher lows. You're at least doing that part. Let's end it with Tesla, just to keep it all simple. My mouse is driving me absolutely nuts, not working. Yeah, we talked about this. This was going to be the first resistance. You got up here and you blew through it. You backed off and you tested it intraday. Now the 2 times range is in play. Bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. If you own Tesla and you have not thought a single second about selling any of it, now again, all or nothing, I don't recommend all or nothing trading, because now you're not taking probabilities. You're becoming a gambler, assuming that you know the end and you know the beginning. This is the kind of place where I might continue to sell or sell covered calls. I mean, sell out of the money calls, sell something and gain some premium and hope that, you know what, this move just needs to take a break. And if that's all it is, those covered calls are going to pay you that premium. And if it pulls back, maybe use that cash to buy more shares. Or if you take 10% off, 15% off. I mean, run the math through your head. Like, what kind of percentage pullback do you think is possible after a big run? To me, the bigger the run, the bigger the chop, then the bigger the pullback. That volatility that could come, it's hard to tell when it's going to come. 2 times range, maybe? Could we go ape shit and start really blowing off? I don't know. 2 times range, 1450 area, always possible. Either way, have a plan. If you don't have a plan, and your plan is just to hold forever, well, I love to zoom backwards and go, you know what? Those people who bought it up, I apologize for the slowness, at, in the hundreds, 200s, and it ran up to 900, they didn't want to sell when it got volatile after the last blow off, and then it pulled back to almost 500. Those people were sick not selling up there and knowing that they could buy more because they love the company. That's part of it. You think about, even Elon Musk does this. He does secondaries at the high, and then he buys back stock for himself personally at the lows. Why aren't people doing that themselves? Do you need to wait for him to announce the buyback? Or do you think he's looking at these higher prices going, wow, we could raise a ton of money to facilitate tons of more production with stock versus debt? Free money, free cash as stock selling. That's how I look at it. Dan Max at EXP, the trading agent. I'm getting aggressive because I know people just won't listen to this kind of stuff. And I'm not telling you to sell at all. I'm telling you to either hedge or start looking to sell. Just have a plan. If you need to work on the plan, hit me up. I can give you some ideas. But you should be the one making these plans. If you can't run your own plans and execute your own plans, then you traded Tesla and you got lucky. And you know what? If you get lucky, that's not something you live off of. You shouldn't be a full-time trader thinking, well, you know what? My whole game plan is just to get lucky and find another Tesla. Tesla is the one-off. There's not 100 Teslas around to trade. I love Tesla, love Elon, love the direction, but you know what? It's a stock. I don't love it because if you go back and you do any studying, the dot-com bubble, people used to love Qualcomm, Cisco, Nortel, Lucent, Palm Pilot, BlackBerry, all these names. They were the greatest thing ever. They all took a big haircut. Some of them are gone. Some of them survived. But you know what? The probabilities at some point are not in the favor of going up all the time. That's all you need to think about. Just that simple. All right, I'm out. Ran over.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like the content. Also smash the like button, share with your friends, and add a comment. there's a topic or stock you'd like me to give you insight about, let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer your question. Thanks.